You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
A rise in illegal dumping in parts of Northport. What the city is asking officers to do to stop it.
Plus, happening today, an active shooter response training for city and county law enforcement at Bayshore High School.
And Florida's water may not be the safest to drink. The poisonous chemical found in water fountains in some Florida schools. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. 5 o'clock. Hello, early risers. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us on this Wednesday morning. I'm afraid to ask John Scalzi, how is the humidity going to be today? Hot stick again?
Oh, like Manila. I mean, it's going to be a jungle out there. Yeah, no, it's going to be thick, and we're going to have some showers around. Better chance of rainfall today. In fact, we've already had a few, even some thunderstorms popping off over the Gulf waters and over Tampa Bay as well. Skyway Bridge about to see a little bit more rainfall. They already saw some. There'll be more on the way. We have a chance of rainfall today coming in at about 50% compared to yesterday's 30%. So, again, the general motion of these storms is going to be about the same. We have a little area of low pressure that's scooting across the northern part of the state, and what that'll do is enhance our rainfall chances a bit. Still, they'll be building in Gulf waters. They'll be moving across our coastline, and then eventually the focus of the showers later this afternoon will be in inland areas. But the rain chance, pretty good all day long. Shower almost anytime, almost anywhere along the coastline, moving toward inland areas. First at 30% this morning, then up to about 50% by the time we hit the noontime hour, and kind of keeping there right straight through the afternoon. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic. First off, already some buildup there on State Road 70 westbound as you head toward 301. Otherwise, pretty clear. Checking farther south now, the northern half of Sarasota County, eastbound Bee Ridge from Honore toward Cattleman and the interstate. Some congestion already this morning. And then our final map for the south will indicate a little slowdown there, 41 southbound as you travel between Nokomis and Venice.
Well, if you hear what sounds like gunshots from Bayshore High School this morning, do not worry. Today, local law enforcement are going to be there for an active shooter response training. Marla
Spence is live there with a preview of today's event. Marla?
Good morning, guys. From 8 to noon today, Bayshore High School will look a little different than it does right now. There will be law enforcement with Bradenton Police and also sheriff deputies with the Manatee County Sheriff's Office for that active shooter training. Now, not only will the training be for police and sheriff deputies, but also for student resource officers, Manatee County School District principals, assistant principals, district directors, and other district administrators. The school district says there will be elevated police presence and simulated gunfire at the high school, and in an effort to make sure people in this area are not concerned, the school district alerted parents of Bayshore District employees and neighboring businesses and organizations like IMG Academy and State College of Florida about today's active shooter training. Now, we spoke to one retired teacher here on the Suncoast about today's training, and she says trainings like these should happen more often to help schools be better aware and prepared and equipped for an active shooter situation.
Living where I do, and in this district, it seems like something that could never happen. But anytime it happens, it's at a place where people thought it could never happen. I really do think it's important to be aware of what can be done and how to do things in the event that it happens, because if we just pretend it won't, then we're not prepared at all.
And from 8 to noon today, the school will be closed to the public. No one will be able to come on campus other than those that are participating in the training. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to be hearing more from that retired teacher on her thoughts of today's active training. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Marla. To the south now, Northport city officials report a rise in illegal dumping. A variety of items have been found on the side of the road in parts of the southeast section toward the Port Charlotte border. The city says they will clean up this illegal dumping as quickly as they can. They are pushing the police to beef up their patrol in the area. There are penalties for illegal dumping, including fines, impact on a driver's license, and at times even being considered a felony as well.
It's just something we want to stop, mainly because it does affect our taxpayers, but also the citizens that live here. You know, they walk their dogs on this street, they run, they jog, they exercise, and you know, you can't blame them. You wouldn't want this garbage, you know, in your neighborhood.
When friends and people would come over, they would comment on it, so that's pretty bad. When people are driving through your neighborhood and saying, hey, there's a couch on the side of the road, and over on this one there's a TV, you could put it together and have a living room.
If you know anyone who has disposed of their belongings illegally, you're asked to contact the Northport Police Department.
In consumer news now, how to protect people from those gas skimmers that keep popping up on pumps across the Suncoast. Well, the city of Punta Gorda might have one solution. Even though they've only had one gas skimming case in the last 10 years, the Punta Gorda police chief says most of their experience comes after the fact when people report fraud charges on their credit cards. So they want to stop the crime before it affects you, the consumer, by adding a lock and key device on all pumps in the area. Now, that's proven successful in Cape Coral. At a city commission meeting later today, the police department will present a proposal that would make every gas station within those city limits install these special locks on the pumps.
An undercover operation in Sarasota County cracked down on underage alcohol sales. The Sheriff's Office Juvenile Task Force visited 40 stores, and they said they caught 8 clerks not checking IDs, are listed there on your screen. The Juvenile Task Force conducted the operation between a 2-day period last week. The Sheriff's Office says summer break is a common time of year for underage students to try to buy alcohol. They say operations like this remind stores of the consequences of selling to a minor.
And a warning this morning from the Sarasota Police Department. 38-year-old Derek Speed is now registered as a sexual predator and living in Sarasota on North Tamiami Trail. And he was designated a sexual predator back in 2006 in Pinellas County. Some of his past convictions include sexual battery by threat of force of violence on someone 12 years of age or older.
It appears Florida may not have the safest drinking water. A group calling itself the Get the Lead Out group tested 8 drinking fountains at the state capitol. 4 were found to have lead levels above 1 part per billion, an amount the American Academy of Pediatrics says creates health risk for children. One of the fountains had lead levels 11 times higher than that.
The plumbing throughout Florida is largely the same, and we know that the lead is coming from the plumbing parts. It's not coming from the aquifer.
According to the group, schools built before 1986 pose the highest risk for contamination. They say it would cost about $24 million statewide to fix and replace what's needed to make the water safer.
A Florida nonprofit has donated $10,000 to the wife of a Parkland school shooting victim. 49-year-old Chris Hickson. He was killed in the shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School back in February. Now, he was the school's athletic director. He was also a wrestling coach and a naval reservist. Now, his wife, Deborah, she accepted the check at an event in Fort Lauderdale yesterday.
It's been so heartwarming to see that the community has come together to do such nice things for our family. You know, sometimes you kind of get lost in the anger of what happened, and you like to believe that everybody's bad. And it's been so nice to have people that I don't even know just kind of say, no, there are good people, and we're here to support you.
Some good words right there. So where did this donation come from? Well, it's a group that's called Florida Girls Giving Back. They're a group of young girls. They're a nonprofit in Broward County. They did a month-long fundraising campaign to raise money for the Hickson family.
Sarasota County libraries have launched a new mobile app. The app offers new ways to streamline your library experience. It'll work with any Apple, Android, or Amazon devices. Now, users can search library catalogs, renew items, and even download books and magazines. For more information on the app or how to get it on your mobile app, find this story at mysuncoast.com. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the death toll continues to rise after that volcanic eruption in Guatemala. The challenges emergency crews are facing as they attempt to help stranded residents.
And later in the hour, an iconic Longboat Key Resort will be no more. We're going to tell you just when the demolition for the Colony Beach and Tennis Resort will begin. But first, here is a live shot right here out of San Francisco. Beautiful downtown shot. I honestly cannot think of San Francisco without thinking of Fuller House. My sweet, sweet Tanner family.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that house. Pretty city there. It's a lot of fog usually. 52 degrees right there at this live picture. What's the scene locally here, John?
Not too bad. We have some fairly quiet conditions over most of the area. We do have some showers, though, in progress in Manatee County, which we'll detail on radar in a second. It's certainly hot, sticky, and humid out there already. 80 degrees, the current air temperature. We have a dew point value of 75, making it thick, and a 85% relative humidity. Rain boxes checked this morning on the drive time forecast. Rain chances are good today, coming in at about 50%. Low 80s. then mid-80s on the way home. And no airport hubs serving Sarasota International Bradenton Airport are delayed this morning. We'll have the complete forecast, including radar, in just a second.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
We've got some scattered showers across Manatee County right now. These are not huge showers. We don't have a Shakespearean tragedy going on here, but we've got a few scattered showers here and there across the landscape. Nothing really heavy, although we did have a pop of lightning earlier on over the Skyway Bridge, and we can't rule out the possibility of a scattered shower that could develop into a thunderstorm here and there across the landscape today. So just take a little extra time, especially if you're in Manatee, heading along 75, say, you'll probably encounter a little bit of light rainfall. Nothing like what's going on to the north. There are some very heavy thunderstorm activity and downpours of rain occurring around Cape San Blas up through Tallahassee, back toward I-4, and then as you head along 75, you're also seeing some fairly heavy rainfall between Tampa, around Tampa, up through Gainesville. That will be the case for them throughout the day today, and there could be some very heavy downpours of rain. If you are leaving here, traveling north on our roadways, yeah, you're probably going to encounter a pretty steady on and off rain throughout the day. 30% chance of showers by 9 o'clock this morning, mostly hit and miss, kind of scattered stuff. Then as we head into the afternoon, I think we'll have better chances of perhaps a few thunderstorms building. And it's going to be the kind of the case, you know, almost any time, almost anywhere. A shower or a thunderstorm could pop up as we head into the afternoon period. Then as we get into the later afternoon, daytime highs will top out a little cooler than yesterday, perhaps because of the cloud cover at 86. But most of the activity, I think, is going to start moving into inland areas and develop there, moving further away from the coast. So we'll get a little bit of break in the rains along the coast as we head into the afternoon and evening. Not to say you won't see anything. There'll just be fewer storms around. Watch the Futurecast. Put it into motion. You'll see a few scattered showers coming at us from the Gulf waters, moving inland. Then as we head into lunchtime and periods in the later afternoon, most of the activity develops into inland areas. Then as we head into the evening, I think it'll be a fairly decent evening. Again, most of the shower activity toward the other coast. But then by tomorrow morning, once again, I think we'll have a good chance of seeing some showers and thunderstorms develop out in Gulf waters and move closer to our coastline. I think tomorrow will be a very similar day to today. We have this persistent trough of low pressure located just to our north, which is going to sink south, and this area of low pressure run right along that stalled frontal boundary. We'll have this westerly wind flow that'll continue on again today. This map will not change much tomorrow either, except that that low will probably be pretty much over Jacksonville. The shower chances will be about the same tomorrow as they are today, so we have two pretty good days of fairly persistent showers. Humid conditions will persist and mostly inland storms. Rainfall estimates over the next couple of days, not too bad. You know, we might pick up a half an inch to an inch of rainfall, so that's not terrible. West wind comes in at about 5 to 10. As we head into the afternoon, you'll be dodging showers again out in Gulf waters. So today, 50% chance of rain. Tomorrow, about a 40% chance. That'll really carry us on into Saturday when our rain chance will spike back up again to 50%, maybe even higher on Sunday. So kind of wet days both Saturday and Sunday. Those are storms building inland and moving back to the coast, kind of an opposite direction. And next week looks to be a little bit drier by midweek. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside and check out that first alert traffic this morning. A couple rain showers out earlier, but nothing really to be worried about at this time of the morning. Most of the roads are pretty dry out there. Manatee County is looking really good. No real bumps or delays so far yet this morning. Heading a little bit farther south into Sarasota, those roads are looking pretty decent. 41 coming along the bay is slow, but it normally is around this time of the morning. Heading a little farther south into Sarasota. Oops, we do have one accident that just popped up to tell you about there. I-75 in the northbound lane. There's a lane that is blocked at exit 213, which of course is University Parkway. Again, I-75, the northbound lane, there's a lane blocked at exit 213, which is the University Parkway. If you want to head a little bit farther south, if you're headed south on 75 or 41, both of those are running pretty smooth this morning, so nothing else to talk about at 5:17. That is your first alert traffic.
A developing story out of Guatemala. The Fuego volcano eruption has impacted over 1 million people so far. Guatemala has turned to the UN for help. The Office of the Secretary General says a humanitarian team of 60 is traveling now to the Central American nation to visit shelters and emergency operations centers. However, there will be challenges.
Due to the massive volcanic activity, access to some zones is still impossible, with ashes reaching 60 degrees Celsius, which also impedes helicopter flights for rescue and damage assessment. Over 3,400 people have been evacuated.
And the death toll continues to rise. Now at least 75 people are dead.
Well, we know more this morning about next week's U.S.-North Korean summit. Now, first, the two leaders will be meeting for the first time at Singapore's Capella Hotel next Tuesday, June 12th. Now, according to USA Today, U.S. officials were trying to find a discreet way to pay Kim Jong-un's hotel bills. Now, for the presidential suite that he had requested, delegations from the U.S. and North Korea met 4 times last week at the same hotel to hash out some of the logistics for next week's summit. The best headline of the day, though, according to the Detroit Free Press, Dennis Rodman, who we all know has met with Kim Jong-un on at least 3 different occasions, is also reportedly headed to Singapore for the summit. But Rodman's spokesperson says nothing is confirmed just yet.
Oh, boy. President Trump has unblocked some, but not all of his Twitter followers amid a legal battle over whether he can actually block people. The president recently unblocked the 7 plaintiffs who sued him and members of his administration for blocking them on Twitter, but others say they still don't have access to his tweets. Last month, the federal judge ruled that the president's tweets and the replies below are a public forum. The judge says that means Trump blocking anybody for their political remarks violates the constitutional right to freedom of speech. The Department of Justice plans to appeal this ruling.
Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, we've heard it time and time again lately, Facebook sharing our personal data. But this morning, a new concern that the social media giant may have threatened national security with the latest.
And after the break, an unusual sight in Georgia. We'll tell you how this car wound up hanging off a wall. But first, let's take a shot of Washington. This is your White House. Built in 1792, opened in 1800. Took 8 years to build that. And look at the top right light is on. That's the kitchen.
That is right. Melania's back in business out there this morning. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Welcome back. It is 5:23. Look outside our window there. John calls for a high of 86 degrees today. A 50-50 chance of rain showers, though. His complete forecast a few minutes away here on Good Morning Suncoast.
All right, so check this out. A stolen car ended up dangling off this retaining wall after a police chase. Now, the driver crashed on an Atlanta highway yesterday afternoon. The man driving the SUV actually took off after the crash, leaving an injured woman inside. She was taken to the hospital with just some minor injuries. But the crash definitely caused some traffic headaches in a busy area. Police had to figure out how to block a ramp and how to get this SUV off the retaining wall. So not easy to do. Oh, those Facebook privacy breaches, front and center again today. This time, what they shared could be considered a threat to national security.
The story in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, more problems for Facebook's data sharing.
The company admits it gave user information to a Chinese firm the U.S. deemed a national security threat. Reports say telecom company Huawei was among a number of firms granted access as early as 2010. Officials tell the New York Times Facebook will wind down its deal with that company by the end of the week. And Instagram is reportedly considering doing away with constraints on the length of videos.
The Wall Street Journal reports a new feature would let users post videos up to an hour long. And Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates is giving every 2018 college graduate a gift.
The billionaire says he will buy the grads his favorite new book. It's by Hans Rosling called Factfulness, 10 Reasons We're Wrong About the World and Why Things Are Better Than You Think. New graduates just have to log on to Gates' blog to get it.
It sounds like a light read, doesn't it?
Uplifting. Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Eliquis.
I've always been about what's next. I'm still giving it my best, even though I live with a higher risk of stroke due to AFib, not caused by a heart valve problem. So if there's a better treatment than warfarin, I'm up for that. Eliquis. Eliquis is proven to reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, plus has significantly less major bleeding than warfarin. Eliquis is FDA approved and has both. So what's next? Seeing these guys.
Don't stop taking Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to, as stopping increases your risk of having a stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for any bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
Eliquis, the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner. Ask your doctor if Eliquis is what's next for you.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like. Then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Happening later on today, active shooter response training taking place at Bayshore High School. We're going to tell you who is taking part in the exercise today.
Right now, Manatee County schools have listed hundreds of jobs, what positions they plan to fill in the next 2 months.
And a mystery no more. First Lady Melania Trump is back in the spotlight this week. We'll tell you where she'll be. We've got those stories, plus your first alert weather. Starts right now on Good Morning Suncoast. Good morning to you on this Wednesday morning. It is 5:30. I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins. I can see over John Scalzi's shoulders. Some showers are coming across the top of his head.
Yeah. Really? Yes. I've got to fix that roof. Yeah. A few around this morning, and we have checked the rain box on our commute forecast this morning just because there's the possibility of a brief downpour from perhaps a developing thunderstorm this morning. Can't rule that out. We've certainly had one earlier on move over the mouth of Tampa Bay and then on into Hillsborough County, so it's not out of the question. Right now, though, things are pretty light across the region. We have a few scattered showers in Manatee County, but that's about it. Heavy stuff is located to the north, though. If you're traveling today, if you're leaving your home and heading north on our roadways, you're going to encounter some fairly heavy rainfall at times on your trip out of the state or to the northern part of the state. We're looking at a good chance of rain as we head into the afternoon, 30% chance through these morning hours, but then about a 50% chance as we close in on lunchtime. That'll probably extend into the afternoon, but the focus of the showers might shift into inland areas just a little bit. And then as we head into the evening, we'll kind of wind things down a tad. We'll talk all about that forecast in the next couple of days, which promise to be kind of wet, coming up in just a few.
Okay, thanks for the morning, John. Talk to you again soon. There's the roads. First off, in Manatee County, they'll build up on 301 northbound as you head toward downtown Bradenton. A little blip there on 70 eastbound. Checking the upper half of Sarasota County, we'll find out there's a little issue there on Clark Road eastbound. Also an ongoing issue, I-75 northbound, a lane still blocked at the diverging Diamond University Parkway. Be aware of that if you're heading north through that spot. And then checking our final map to the south, we'll find out nothing much to report so far. We'll keep you posted right here on Good Morning Suncoast.
Well, if you hear gunshots coming from Bayshore High School this morning, do not be alarmed. It is all for a good thing. It's part of an active shooter response training that's being held there today for local law enforcement and school officials.
Our Marla Spence is live with a preview from the campus this morning. Marla?
Good morning, guys. In just a few hours, Bayshore High School will be flooded with Bradenton Police, Manatee County Sheriff deputies, and Manatee County School District faculty and staff. They'll be here to learn what to do just in case an active shooter were to walk on any campus within the district. Now, besides having elevated police presence, there will also be simulated blank gunfire at the high school. Because the school will be pretty active today, the district alerted parents of Bayshore district employees and neighboring businesses and organizations, including IMG Academy and State College of Florida. Now, we spoke to a recently retired teacher about today's training, and she says trainings like these should happen more often to help teachers learn what they should do if there is an active shooter. She says she and others who really have a passion for students and teaching have a responsibility to protect their students in any and all situations.
I know when I walked into my classroom after the Stoneman Douglas shooting, the first thing I thought was, where could the kids go? And if they couldn't get away, what would be my role? And my role would be to be the line of defense. I think I would have to save them from whatever was going on. I'd have to put them first and myself second.
Now, today's active shooter response training will be happening from 8 to noon today. The campus will be closed to everyone except for those who will be participating in that training. Reporting live in Manatee County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. A police chase like no other. Look at this. Virginia State Police chased a stolen armored vehicle for about 2 hours. The military vehicle was taken from Fort Pickett, a National Guard base in Blackstone, southwest of Richmond. The car can drive at max 40 miles an hour. There's no weapons on it, though. The driver was arrested and faces some serious charges.
Well, it was a devastating loss to the fashion world yesterday. We're learning learning more today about designer Kate Spade's life and what may have been behind her death yesterday. New York police says Spade died in an apparent suicide in her Upper East Side home. She was found by her housekeeper early yesterday morning. Officers say the 55-year-old left behind a note for her 13-year-old daughter. Now, Spade, of course, launched her iconic handbag and accessory line back in 1993, at the time with her future husband, Andy. Now, the couple ended up selling the brand back in 2006, but she recently launched an accessories company called Frances Valentine that was named for her teen daughter. Now, in a series of emails to a Kansas City newspaper, Spade's sister said that she had suffered from depression for years.
Back in this area, an iconic Longboat Key resort will soon be knocked down. The Colony Beach and Tennis Resort has been abandoned for nearly 10 years after a legal dispute between the condo owners and management. Since then, Longboat Key officials say the property has become a hazard there. The director of Planning, Zoning and Building has ordered the demolition for as early as next Friday. He says the town has given the owners a fair chance to address the conditions.
The structures are really unfit and unsafe right now, and then entering into another hurricane season, that just adds to the safety concerns that we have.
Parsons says there is a 10-day appeal period that began last Thursday, but so far there have been no appeals to stop the demolition. An Orlando developer has bought the land and plans to build a St. Regis hotel at this site.
Well, the school district of Manatee County needs to fill hundreds of positions by August. District officials say the goal is to fill the majority of its nearly 300 instructional vacancies by the new school year. Now, the school district says that recent retirees add to that number of openings in the county, along with some resignations and some contracts that weren't renewed. But some employees believe that there are so many openings because teachers are leaving to work in other school districts.
Our district is wide enough that you could drive within the district as long as it would take you to get to another district, whether it be Sarasota or St. Pete.
Now, the openings don't include the positions that the district needs to fill for the 3 new schools that are also coming to East Manatee County. District officials say the hiring process will begin for those jobs in spring of 2019. Hey, and good news for seniors graduating in Manatee County. They might have less student loans ahead of them in the future. Why? Well, according to a survey done by the district, the class of 2018 has earned more than $16 million in scholarships, and they've been accepted into more than 200 colleges and universities across the country. Also, when it comes to the military, there are graduates from the county headed to each one of the 5 branches in the military. So well done, graduates.
A new study by Visit Florida says that a record-breaking number of people are visiting Florida. In the first 3 months of the year, 33 million visited the state. That's about 7% more than the previous year. The study says a large portion of those tourists came from within the state, and the number of Canadian visitors keeps on increasing. However, they did note a decrease in overseas vacationers.
Tourism funds 1.4 million Floridians jobs. It makes sure those people can feed their families, pay their mortgages. Tourism is the #1 economic driver in Florida.
And that was Ken Lawson, the CEO of Visit Florida. He says this uptick is good news for the state, which broke records last year despite that active hurricane season.
Happening today, the First Lady is scheduled to make her first press appearance in almost a month. Melania Trump will be joining President Trump at FEMA headquarters in Washington, where they'll be briefed on readiness for the 2018 hurricane season. Now, this will be the first time that Melania has stepped in front of press cameras in over 26 days. She was at an event for military families on Monday, but no media was allowed to attend that one. She did attend an event honoring more than 40 Gold Star families at the White House on Monday.
That White House communications aide who was criticized for making light of Senator McCain's health is off the job now. The White House has confirmed that Kelly Sadler no longer works within the executive office of the president. She was a special assistant to President Trump. In May, you might recall, Sadler said during a meeting that McCain's opposition to the CIA director did not matter because the senator was, quote, dying. McCain is battling brain cancer. Both Sadler and the White House received widespread backlash for their remark. The White House never publicly condemned it either.
Well, even if you've never run before, today is the perfect day to start because it is National Running Day. You don't need any tools or any training to celebrate this day. throw on some shoes, pretend that you are in your elementary school class just way back in the day. Some people will go the distance. Some people want to go out and complete a marathon. Others just jog as a good stress reliever or, you know, to work some things out. Whether you run with nothing but your music or maybe you enjoy the company of your friend or even your dog, it's an excuse to take some time out today and enjoy one of life's most basic ways to exercise.
I can barely jog my memory.
Oh, jeez. Still ahead, history has been made this week as Miss America ends the swimsuit competition. We're going to take you back to how that all started and what it means.
5:39 right now. Here's a live look at Atlanta. There's the Ferris wheel, lower left corner, nice tourist attraction there in Centennial Park. Beautiful Atlanta. But John, I see some raindrops on your forecast today.
Yes, there will be some scattered showers around. We have some in progress now, actually. Manatee County, mostly southern parts of the viewing area around Osprey. Between Osprey and Venice, we have one shower beginning to make it on shore there, so you'll get wet. But over the Skyway Bridge in the next half hour, one lone shower moving over there as well. None of this stuff is really heavy at the present time, so that's good news. The heaviest of the showers located east of the interstate in Manatee County, heading up toward Hillsborough County. The beach forecast today, not great. We'll probably have a pop or two of lightning, so remember your lightning safety tips. If you hear thunder, you are in danger of being struck, even if it's not raining on you. Scattered showers moving inland throughout the afternoon. Daytime high about 86. Complete forecast for you coming up in just a few.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
When ABC7 declares a first alert weather day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a first alert weather day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A first alert weather day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we are looking at some scattered showers moving across our landscape. I'll step out of the way here so you can see. Moving across the landscape, producing just a little bit of rainfall across the region. None of it too terribly heavy, but there are some showers around, particularly in the northern half of Manatee County. Light stuff, as I mentioned, though we did earlier on this morning have a thunderstorm moving over the Skyway Bridge, so it is possible today to see that thunderstorm development. In fact, for the next couple of days, we have a chance of seeing thunderstorm development. Haven't seen much thunderstorm activity around lately. One lone cell producing some moderate rainfall heading up toward Parrish and then on up eventually into Hillsborough County. Otherwise, the heaviest of the stuff by far is located well to the north of us. There's a little area of low pressure in the atmosphere, a trough if you will, that's going to help enhance rainfall chances for areas, I'd say, from about Dunedin northward throughout the day today. There could be some periods of some heavier rainfall there. Plus, we get this little surge of moisture across the peninsula, which will enhance rainfalls even here on the Suncoast locally. But that will be occurring most likely in inland locations as we head through the afternoon. Rain chances are good today. We'll go with about a 50% chance of seeing showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two moving from Gulf waters across our coastline as we head into the lunchtime hour. So good chances of rainfall up until then. Then, as we head into the afternoon, I'll knock down the rain chances just a little bit for most of the Suncoast residents that live near the coast. But inland, Hardee and DeSoto counties, there you'll probably see the rain shower chances up just a little bit, while we go down near the coast to about 40%. And that rain chance will taper off as we head into the evening and into the overnight. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, there'll be some scattered showers along the coast, and radar will look very similar to what we're looking at right now as we kind of repeat the day again tomorrow. So we look at scattered showers dotting the landscape, and that's the nature of these storms here and there, popping up almost anytime, almost anywhere through the lunchtime hour. And then as we head into the 3 p.m. hour or so, we'll see most of the activity occurring in inland areas where the storms could get a little bit stronger. There'll be some showers out in Gulf waters, and boaters pay attention to that. There could be some thunderstorms as well out in the Gulf this afternoon. But that, as the sun begins to wane, will tend to die down as it makes it closer to shore. And then as we head into tomorrow morning, once again, showers will start to dot the landscape as we head into another day with fairly decent rainfall chances. All because of an area of low pressure building out in the Gulf waters, moving through parts of North Florida, enhancing our rainfall chances in this general flow of westerly winds. Those westerly winds tend to favor the showers building over on the other coast in the afternoon, but the low pressure area itself enhancing rainfall chances for everyone during the morning hours. Good rain chances, afternoon storms focus in inland areas, and then we'll wait and watch and see those showers building really all week long here and there across the Suncoast. West wind comes in at about 5 to 10 today, pretty decent day for boating, and we'll look at a good 50% chance of showers as we head into the afternoon. And as I said, most of those will be inland. Then on Thursday, we'll have another good chance of rain at about 40%. Both of those days warm, kind of muggy, sticky. Friday the same. As we head into the weekend, I think we'll notice a difference in the way these storms build and move. I think they'll build mostly in the afternoon in inland areas, and then they'll drift back toward the coast toward the evening. And then next week, we'll still have chances of rainfall, though they'll trend downward. Back to you.
Thank you so much, John. Let's take a look outside to that first alert traffic out there. So far in Manatee County, those roads aren't looking too bad just yet. A couple delays right there on 301 and State Road 70, but not too much of note right now this morning. Heading a little bit farther south into Sarasota County, those roads aren't looking too bad out there either, just a couple slowdowns here and there. We do have one to tell you about on I-75 in the northbound lane right there at exit 213, which of course is University Parkway. There's a lane block, so if you're heading north on I-75 and you have to go by exit 213, there is a lane blocked in that area, so just something to take note of. A little farther south into the area, if you're heading toward Punta Gorda or maybe Port Charlotte or farther down towards Naples, 75 and 41 are both running very smooth this morning. No worries right there. 548, that's your first alert traffic. Well, Miss America waving farewell to the bikini. CNN's Jeannie Moose takes a look back at its evolution in the pageant.
Oh, there she is. Miss America will still be there, but this won't. Say so long to the swimsuit competition.
We will no longer judge our candidates on their outward physical appearance. That's huge.
Actually, the swimsuits themselves were pretty huge back in 1921 when Miss America started. Gradually, they became more form-fitting.
Miss Iowa, 5', 3.5 inches.
The demure two-piece evolved into the bikini.
I had time for hairspray and butt glue, and that was it.
Contestants won't need butt glue anymore.
I think it's great.
It's a step in the right direction.
Wow. Wow. I'm going to miss it. That's disappointing. Well, what's left? The essay?
The emphasis will be on talent and brains amid old standbys.
Miss New York!
Like tears of joy, tangled up sashes, and falling off crowns. The evening gown competition will be revamped to allow contestants to wear what they want, but it's bye-bye bikinis.
Look, the last time I was this naked in public, I was coming out of a uterus, okay?
Some men on Twitter were bitter. Removing the swimsuit competition from the Miss America pageant is like removing fighting from hockey. It will fail. No more scantily clad women? Sounds like great radio.
That's like the only reason why I watch it. Me and my mom sit there and we're like, look, she had a nice.
Other women took a dim view of the pageant. It's a dinosaur. Move on.
I'm as gay as pink paint, so I don't give a damn.
Contestants will have a lot less skin in the game.
Hey, what are you doing?
It stops the suit from riding up.
Riding up where?
Off into the sunset. Genimos. New York.
All right, all-day breakfast lovers, say goodbye to IHOP. Maybe. The restaurant posted a tweet suggesting that they might be changing their name to IHOB. So the International House of Pancakes will become the International House of Bacon, Biscuits, Breakfast. We don't really know. The change is supposed to take place on Monday, but IHOP is being a little mysterious about what that B might be standing for. But hey, it's creating good buzz. Maybe that's what the B stands for.
I think it's
B for buzz.
I think breakfast makes sense.
It does.
It's more than just pancakes.
Yeah, it's hash browns and eggs.
I love going to
bacon.
I love international restaurants like that.
And
all right. 5:51. Here's a shot of Manhattan as we speak. It's 60 degrees there right now. Pretty shot there as dawn is breaking over our biggest city. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast. Today's top local news headlines are next.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. We're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. Yeah, Dad. We're getting so wet.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Welcome back. It's 5:54, and here's some of the top stories that we've been following for you today on the Suncoast.
Another step toward demolition of the former Colony Resort on Longboat Key. A town official says they'll knock it down as early as next week. A St. Regis hotel is planned at that site.
Plus, active shooter response training is going to be going on later today at Bayshore High School. It's from 8 this morning until noon, and it's for local law enforcement and school officials.
And a crackdown on underage alcohol sales found that 8 clerks out of 40 stores sold to underage customers. The undercover deal was set up by the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office.
Coming up in the next hour, if you're not getting a good night's sleep, we know that it can affect your health, your stress levels, but we're going to tell you how bad sleep can actually affect your wallet. Plus, hurricane season is here. We're going to show you how one company demonstrated that their product can hold up in a storm. And the Florida State softball team has won its first national championship.
With an amazing play. We'll show you that too. But first, a guy who always gets a lot of sleep. Here's John Scalzi.
I wish. A few scattered showers in the forecast for you this morning, no doubt about that. And we'll be watching a couple of things on the maps. One, scattered showers not only today, but thunderstorms even possible. And good rain chances each day this week. We'll talk about that in detail in a few.
All right, we'll update the day's top news headlines, more of John's forecast, and more Stephanie Webb next hour.
I don't know about that one. We've got more. You're watching ABC 7.